Hello everyone, and welcome to another YouTube video. Well, with 3 years approaching since No Time to Die came out and still relatively little news, I'm here to give you a little guide on who will possibly be the next James Bond. As you can see here, speculation already persists with Henry Cavill starring the next James Bond, even as you can see here a little trailer someone made about a possible film he could include. However, besides this small part of the internet, there isn't too much on Henry Cavill, and personally I don't think he will technically meet the role. I think he is too young. However, this actor, Reed Jean Page, could definitely play Bond more experienced. He definitely has, as you can see there in a tuxedo, he definitely owns the look quite well, and I can definitely see him possibly being the next James Bond. And yeah, again, great in the Bridgertown season, he played very well and was immediately thrown into the ring to be the next James Bond, especially after he said he wouldn't return to future seasons. And I quote, "I think there might be an element of cultural translation to be done here," Page said on the Tonight Show. "If you're a Brit and you do something of a kind of renown that people regard well, you'll start with like the B word. It's like a merit badge. You get the B word, merit badge. It's very glad to have the badge. And we're such a wonderful company of who people I know with that badge." So it's really key. He definitely is keen on playing James Bond, and it will be interesting to see if he does take up the role. Someone who, however, is very much centre stage for taking the next role of James Bond and would indeed make the first black actor, that British actor to play James Bond, is the 49-year-old Idris Elba. Yeah, jokes aside, Elba has been the name mentioned most frequently as the next 007 for what's probably been close to a decade, and for good reason. Not only does the 49-year-old Englishman have the impossibly dashing good looks needed for the role, but he's proven his versatility over the years with a series of complex characters, from dramas like The Wine of Witchcraft to action like Hobbs and Shaw and The Suicide Squad, to even comedy. We also see him numerous of Murderous Outlaw and Netflix So Hard As They Fall, a western also starring Jonathan Majors and Regina King, a truly epic cast, a little sneak peek on the graph. Pretty clear to see that this man would make a pretty good and sneaky, dazzling, attractive next James Bond actor, and personally I would love to see him take on the role. He's pretty good. He'd be much more like Joel Lazenby positioned. Not too many people know about him. He's had a bit of underdog roles, so this could really propel him forward to a centre stage role, and it would be interesting to see how a black character can maybe possibly change the dynamic of James Bond and introduces more elements of culture into it. What I found pretty interesting was how Pierce Brosnan himself, a former James Bond actor, suggested how Cillian Murphy would make a magnificent James Bond. Particularly, Cillian Murphy has gained a lot of fame recently due to his appearances in Oppenheimer, Peaky Blinders and Dunkirk. It's pretty clear that he definitely has a mischievous and comedic side to James Bond. And yeah, former James Bond star Pierce Brosnan has made his pick for who to play the iconic Spy X Cillian Murphy. At the Oscar Wilder Awards in Los Angeles on Thursday night, Brosnan was asked by the BBC for his opinion on which actor should play James Bond after Daniel Craig retired from the role in 2021. Cillian would do a magnificent job with James Bond on his Majesty's Secret Service. Brosnan said on his fellow Irishman, who was also on hand at the event celebrating Irish talent. So rumours definitely are swirling about, again, all these people who possibly James Bond. And since Murphy's star was considerably during Oppenheimer, and since he was in that a lot, playing Robert J. Oppenheimer, development of the atomic bomb in the Second World War, it would be very, very cool to see Cillian Murphy as the next James Bond, and I would be very interested to see personally how he takes on the role. Anyway, all this put aside, regardless, it's going to be pretty interesting to see who the next James Bond character will be, and yeah, I cannot wait to see where it goes in the future, who will take on the next role of James Bond after Sean Connery, Roger Moore, of course George Lazenby, Timothy Dalton, Daniel Craig, and who would make, that would be number 6, who would make the 6th James Bond. Well then, it seems it will persist, wondering and thinking about who the next James Bond will indeed be. Who knows? What I would like to know, however, is when the next film will be coming out. That's probably a conversation for another time. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next YouTube video. Goodbye.